I'm always playing the part. Ever since the stupid movie started, the part never really left me. You're probably confused. Should I even bother explaining? Honestly, all you'll do is ridicule me. Oh well. All the people I would confide in aren't exactly around. If you have a few minutes, I can tell you a story that'll drive you crazy. Trust me, I mean that. It all started because I was desperate. See, I'm an actor. Or I was, at any rate. Except I haven't had a role in over 2 years. I had a part in one of those big movies. It was filmed for nothing, grossed way too much money to be healthy for the average person to have at one time. I'd been writing on that, but my addiction to fast cars, hot women, and cocaine haven't exactly been feeding the piggy bank. Started to dry up faster than it took me to ruin an intern's life on set. And so, desperation set in. Started with the average frantic thoughts. What if my wife leaves me? What if my cars get repoed? What if they take away my house? What if I run out of coke? Yeah, those may or may not have been in order of importance. So I scrambled, reaching towards the bottom of the barrel for a part that could feed the pig. You'd think I'd find some romantic comedy or buddy cop film to satisfy me, but no. I found a slasher flick. Yay me! Fake blood that makes you itch, makeup applied by kids that have been practicing on mannequin heads for 2 months. But something different about this one. Something just didn't sit right. It's hard to explain. But I brushed it away. I signed for the role for the slasher himself. Beastly fellow that was basically the offspring of Mr. Myers and Mrs. Voorhees. His story was stupid and convoluted, just like every slasher flick. Something about an abusive father, an absent mother, some alcoholic bullies, that sort of thing. He was the victim of a previous slasher, which left him permanently scarred, both mentally and physically. The mental scarring was simple enough to understand. I mean, he witnessed almost his entire town die. That would drive anyone crazy. Physical scarring was a ripped-out left eye, 2 gashes on the right cheek that formed an X, and a missing nose. Yes, it's a ghastly picture. Yes, my beautiful face had to be altered with makeup and CG to make it. Yes, I was horrified. Yes, I was that desperate. No. Apparently I'm not above that kind of work. It would take about 2 hours in the dressing room to pull off this look, mind you. Half the time I was sleeping. Most of the time you only saw the slasher's face for a millisecond. It was a grueling process. After about 3 weeks of filming, we finally filmed the first murder scene. Up to this point, it was all day scenes that set the backstory, and the director didn't think of shooting the night scenes when things started to get dark. It was a simple enough scene to pull off. The sorority girl, back visiting from college, would see me on the side of the road, looking like a homeless man, would pull over and ask if I was okay, and then I would follow her home and murder her family off-screen, while setting up a trap for her to stumble upon the bodies. If that sounds overly familiar, don't worry. I know. The trap was a bit grisly, mind you. She had to walk into her parents' room and see the dog lying on the bed in a pool of blood. She would run out of the room, but her father would now be hanging upside down at the entrance of it. She would then scream, back away towards the window where I would be watching as the body of her mother fell from the closet. I would then jump through the window, chase her throughout the house, until I cornered her in the bathroom and did the deed. Yes, I did get shivers. Luckily, the shooting process allowed the scene to be broken up into a variety of camera angles, so you never truly got the entire scene all together until it was edited, so no goosebumps. The thing that shook me was watching the trap play out. You feel a sense of entitlement knowing that you're playing the guy that put that together. Truth be told, I wanted more. Screening continued. More murder scenes were shot. The movie was finished, but my yearning grew more and more throughout the course. I started small, mind you. Rabbits, stray cats, dogs here and there. I never dreamed of actually hurting anybody. Well, yes, I dreamed of hurting people, but those were just dreams, right? Not crazy. No, not yet. About 3 rabbits, 2 dogs, 15 cats. Yeah, my town had a cat issue. 15 cats later, I found myself at peace. What a marvelous thing I had done. I vented my anger, got my gratification, and helped my town with a cat problem. Things were going swimmingly, and the revenue from the movie turned out to be smashing. It grossed something like $2 million. I had a free ride for at least a year, with me playing the lead role. Then they contacted me for a sequel. Oh, yes, a sequel. A slasher flick 2, to go along with slasher flick 1. It was brilliant. I jumped at the chance to play the role again, and I felt at home in the makeup and prop clothes that the character wore. I would creep up on stage directors and crew and scare them for a little bit of fun between scenes, and again I watched the traps roll out and the bodies of the actors that played them fall plop down. But something was amiss with the 5th murder scene. I was supposed to chase a young man through a gym until he fell down the stairs to the locker room. Now, usually in cinema, scenes like this would be shot with either padding or dummies, but the director wanted none of that. The plan was to make him fall slowly down the stairs, then speed it up in the editing room. It didn't work that way. As I gave chase, he truly fell down the stairs and snapped his neck on the railing. He died instantly, the doctor said. And the sequel was canceled due to the fees needed to pay off the family for the incident. But watching that body fall, going plop, plop, bang, down the stairs, it introduced a whole new concept to me and gave me the urge once again. I had a feeling cats and dogs wouldn't do it for me anymore either. The first headline read, "Killer Recreates Scene from Grisly Movie." It made me laugh. It was only one column behind a bunch of ads for cars you could never afford and appliances that you get one use out of, but it was still there. What I did was recreate the first murder from the first slasher flick I starred in, right down to the letter. It was brilliant. The shrieks were real. There was no pause for an angle change, no floodlights, there was no fat man sitting on the director's chair. It was just me, 4 dead bodies, and what was supposed to be a prop machete. You'd be surprised how easy it is. The moment where a living being becomes an inanimate object. It's empowering. It's addicting. It's fun. I never stopped either. I would recreate the scenes from the movies, then I would make my own. I would play this role until the day I died. With my machete and my makeup, I would stalk and shank and cause shivers. Every state across the United States I've been to and I've killed in, but you probably knew that. I mean, you were the only one that followed me. The only one that almost stopped me. The only kill that ever got away. But now... now you're tied up. Now you're tired, bloody, beaten, and stabbed. And unless my watch is wrong, you've probably been dead for over 20 minutes now.